What's up guys? Today hopefully we'll be getting your very first Zulrah kill. This is my guide to Mage only at Zulrah, which in my opinion is the easiest way to get your first kill. Zulrah will rotate through one of its 4 forms in 4 predictable patterns. What we'll be doing in today's guide is looking at one of those patterns, which I think is the easiest to defeat on your first try, and the idea of this is to deal with the Tanzanite phase, which is quite difficult. The Serpentine or green phase will attack with range and it is weak to magic. So when we come across this rotation, we'll be protecting from range and attacking with magic. The Magma or red form attacks with melee and it is weak to magic. With its melee attack, it is predictable and can be safe spotted, so we'll be using the safe spot for these and we will be attacking with magic. The Tanzanite or blue phase attacks with both magic and range, and what makes this so hard is that the attack style is unpredictable, so you cannot pray against both. For this, we'll be utilising safe spots and taking the opportunity to heal. This phase is called the Jad phase. It looks exactly like the Serpentine phase, but it will attack with both magic and range. However, these are predictable, so we can switch prayers as we know what attack is coming to deal with these damage, and we'll be attacking back with magic. The key to this method, and while we use magic only, is our ability to safe spot the Tanzanite phase. This is by far the most difficult phase, but in this position we can completely avoid all damage and take an opportunity to heal and deal with the next phase. While you're in the safe spot, this is definitely the best time to use your anti-poison. To do this method, we're going to be looking for a specific rotation of Zulrah, which is the easiest to defeat for your first time. Get really familiar with this map. This is a rotation which shows what form of Zulrah is going to appear, what you need to pray, and where you need to stand. So basically the green dot, the blue dot, and the red dot are showing you which form of Zulrah will appear. The pink dot is showing you where you need to be standing for that phase. And there are also protection prayers noted as well where you need to use those. Note that phase 10, the Jad phase, has 2 prayers. You'll firstly need to pray from magic and then range and alternate every attack. I also quickly want to mention that this is not mine. I've made a quick adaptation to it for the safe spot method, but these rotations are someone else's, so I'm sorry. I can't remember where I got these from, but they are really good. I've just made some small changes for this method. Now let's take a look at how we're going to set up for this method. The first thing we'll look at is our gear. The key thing we're trying to do with our gear is to maximize our magic attack and our magic damage. Under this method, we're basically looking to avoid all damage possible. So we're looking at maximizing our offense to get Zulrah down as quickly as possible. The gear setup I'm taking is fairly high level, but you definitely don't need to replicate this. You can downgrade any item where possible. Just make sure you're bringing your maximum magic accuracy bonus and your maximum magic strength bonus to get Zulrah down. The only item in my setup you must absolutely have is the Ring of Recoil. I'll recommend bringing a spare one of these as well. So now let's take a look at our inventory. I'm going to bring 2 prayer potions, my runes for my spells, 3 anti-poisons, a Zulrah teleport. I'm bringing pineapple pizza and mantray for some combo food, a ring of dueling, and a spare Ring of Recoil. Now that we have our inventory set up, we just need to check a few things before we head off to Zulrah. The first one we're going to do is check how many charges are left in our Ring of Recoil. What we don't want to be doing is going to Zulrah with a ring that's about to shatter, so you can check those to see how many charges are left. Something else we will want to have set up before we go is our quick prayers. So with our quick prayers, we want to have these set on Protect from Range and Mystic Might. So make sure you've got these 2 on ready to go, and it will make your prayer switching a lot easier. We also need to check that we have Auto Retaliate turned off. We're utilizing safe spots and don't want to be dragged out of these. And we also want to make sure we've got Auto Cast selected on our staff. Now that our gear setup is complete, we can use our Zulrah teleport. The first thing I do when I get here, and it's a really good habit, is just to check you haven't got any items to collect from a previous death. If you do go back to Zulrah and have any uncollected items, it is possible that you can lose these, so it's a good habit to always check this first. Next, we want to have our world switcher ready. What we're doing here is we have a certain rotation that we want, and if we don't get the rotation we're after, we can quickly switch worlds and we can reset and try again until we do get that rotation we're looking for. Once you board the boat, you will arrive at your instance fight. The fight will not begin until you make a move, so make sure you're fully set up. What you want to have here, you want to have your world switcher available, and you want to run to this northeastern tile I've highlighted here. After you've selected to run to that tile, the next thing you want to do is right click over Zulrah in the middle. What this will let you do is attack as soon as you're ready, so you can get a first hit in straight away. No matter which one of the 4 rotations you receive, Zulrah will always be in the middle to start with, and you'll always be running to this location. But what we're looking for now is this first change. The rotation we want is a serpentine or green Zulrah out to the east. If we don't get this, we need to have the world switcher ready to click straight away. As soon as we see we haven't got the rotation we want, as soon as we select another world, we'll be logged out. We'll come straight back to the front and we can try again until we hit the rotation that we are after. Once we return, we'll set up the fight the same again. So run to the northeastern tile I've highlighted. Right click over Zulrah, getting ready to attack as soon as you're in place. Set your camera up nicely so you can see the different locations and the map. And now we're hovering over the world switcher again to see if we get the rotation we're after. Remembering we want a green serpentine to the east. Unfortunately, this time we have a tanzanite. It's not what we're after. So click another world to log out and we'll have another go. This may take a few attempts until we get the rotation we want, but it's really important when you're getting your first kills just to memorize one pattern. So get one of the 4 rotations down packed until you understand it before you progress to another one. So the same setup, we get over to our spot in the northeast. We're attacking Zulrah, we're hovering over our world switcher or our quick prayers depending on what rotation we get. We haven't got the rotation we want again, so we are going to change worlds and have another go. The reason we're also hovering over our quick prayers is if we get the rotation we're after, it will be a serpentine Zulrah, the green Zulrah, which will range you. So we do want to have protect from range ready to go, as well as our magic boost. So we'll try again. We have our mouse ready over our world switcher in case it's not the rotation we want. If we do get the rotation we want, we're going to be putting our quick prayers on. This time we got the rotation we wanted. We got the serpentine Zulrah to the east. The first thing we do is put our quick prayers on and begin to attack Zulrah. This is the rotation we want. So from here, the next few phases of Zulrah will be predictable. So what we need to do here is make sure we know which phase is coming next. As we commence the 3rd rotation, this is the first time we'll need to move. So we'll be moving just here next to the pillar to prepare for the melee phase. The reason we go into this spot is that the poison that it sprays does not reach us in this place, nor does its melee attack with its tail. So from this position we won't take any damage and we're free to attack. During the fight, Zulrah will spawn snakelings, and you'll see my Ring of Recoil kill one of these now. They only have 1 HP, and the easiest way to deal with these is the Ring of Recoil. Once the melee phase is complete, we'll be making our second move. We're going to move 1 tile to the south to hide behind this pillar. As you'll see, we're completely safe from the tanzanite phase in this spot. Take this opportunity to heal and have some potions because the next phase is about to begin. The next phase is a serpentine or range phase. So once Zulrah dips down, put on your protect from range. You don't need to move spots. Just make sure you have protect from range on and you can attack back with magic. After this phase, our second move is going to be to the west behind the pillar. So we'll run here now and have protect from magic on just in case you do have to take a hit. But once again, once we're behind this, we are completely safe and we can reheal for the next phase. The next phase will be a serpentine phase. However, you don't need your protection prayer for this one. It will only spit poison and spawn snakelings, which will be taken care of by your Ring of Recoil. So take this opportunity to deal as much damage as you can while you are safe. After this, there will be another Serpentine phase, however you will need to protect range from this one. So as it appears to the west, flick on your Protect from Range prayer and begin attacking. After this phase, we will need to move again. We're going to go diagonally behind the pillar. This one is a little bit hard, so I do try to have my right click on the tile to walk as soon as I'm ready. But again, once you're here, you are safe. Take the opportunity to heal. Heal as much as you can because the next phase is the Jad phase, so you will need all your health. Once Zulrah starts spraying poison and snakelings, you are free to come out from the safe spot and attack. However, get prepared for the Jad phase as this is the hardest. The Jad phase will attack with magic first, so when this phase begins, have your Protect from Magic activated, and every time Zulrah drops its head, you're changing your prayer between magic and range. So as the mage attack is coming in, you're putting on Protect from Range. As the range attack is coming in, you're changing to magic. If you do this correctly, you can avoid all damage during this phase. Once the Jad phase is complete, we're going to run back to where we started. Here it will be a Tanzanite form, but it will not be able to harm us, so we don't need any protection prayers. It will just spawn some snakelings, but we can attack this form. Zulrah will now reappear back in the center. This is actually the beginning of the rotation, so here we don't know what's coming next. Hopefully now as Zulrah starts a new rotation, she'll be nearly dead. We know we can pray from range from this phase. However, depending on what phase next depends what move you would take. For example, if you were to get a melee phase, you know the safe spot next to the pillar. If you were to get a range phase, you know you can hold the spot and protect from range as we did before. If you are unlucky and get a Tanzanite phase, you can use a pillar to hide behind. Essentially, all you need to do is position your player directly behind the pillar and you will be safe from the magic attacks. Hopefully after these next few phases, Zol will nearly be down and you'll be able to take her out. If not, I suggest you tally out and try again. At the end of a fight, the Zelandra teleport will drop. However, we want to be using our Ring of Dueling to go to the old Clan Walls arena. What we'll be doing is using the free-for-all portal to restore all our stats. So once we arrive here, we'll be going west, in and out of the portal, and it will restore our HP, it will relieve our poison, and restore our prayer. So once we come out of the portal, everything is restored. There is a bank just to the east. We can bank our loot and re-gear for another trip. After you have made your first few kills, you can change your inventory setup as you like. So far from what I've found, 2 prayer pots and 3 anti-poison seems to be working well for me. However, feel free to change these if you do require more or less of something. Basically, we just need to restock and we'll withdraw another Zelandra teleport. Make sure our food is full, so we have some combo food, some manta rays, some pineapple pizzas. We'll check our rings of recoil to make sure they still have sufficient charges, and then we're good to go again. Well, this is the end of my guide. Hopefully it helped you get your first ever Zulrah kill. I did try a few methods and I was unsuccessful. I found this to be the easiest way while you're learning. Once you have mastered this rotation, this method, then you can expand and try some others.